Trello, Confluence, Azure Board, Wiki, Dashboard, and all, right? And then coming to the build, we have completed the versions control tool, yeah, source code repository, like we have completed GitHub. Then we have completed Azure repo. Git also we have completed. We have seen basic command of a Git. We have seen how we can clone the central repository into local one, how we can walk offline into local repository and put back all the changes to the central repository. Then we have seen the branching strategy. We have seen why we need a branching strategy. That is very important, right? How we can move a code from one branch to another branch. So we have seen like a pull request concept. You can configure approvals, so we can so people can approve, reject your pull request and all. So that part we have covered. Then we have to talk about the build and test. So in build we have talked about both like a kind of release and um, build pipeline, right? So you have seen the CI/CD concepts, is continuous integration and continuous delivery concept. In the CI part, we have seen few of the plugins and all, and we have seen classic editor pipeline. We have discussed about the Azure pipeline. We have seen a classic editor pipeline. Then we have also seen the ML pipeline. So ML based pipeline also we have seen. So in classic editor, we have seen like a various type of a pipeline. Like first type are like a classic editor sample pipeline. Then we have seen the pipeline with the multi stages, right? We can create, if you want to create like a multi stages, we can create that. Then we have also seen the pipeline with the parameterizations. Then you can provide a very well runtime. Okay. Then we have also seen like a the Terraform pipeline we have created, how we can create an infra pipeline. So all these pipeline we have seen. Now we have seen like how we can pass the variable. So there are the three way to passing the variable. So you can pass the variables using a pipeline variable. We can create a variable group. AKB we have seen, Azure Key Vault we have created. Then have created prerequisites to run the pipeline. So we need an agent. So we have seen like both type of agent, cloud hosted as well as the private agent. We've also seen how we can add the private agent into your DevOps, right? ADO, and use that into the pipeline. Then we have seen like a various type of integrations. If you want to integrate ADO with the GitHub, we can do that. If you want to integrate ADO with Azure portal, so we can do that using a service connections and all. And we have seen the artifact concept, right? Whatever we are building it, you can put that into artifact. So we have created the Azure artifact. We have seen that it was we are able to publish the code, yeah, build package into the artifact. That part we have seen. Then we have seen the auto trigger, right? How we can enable the trigger. So how we can run the pipeline. So we can run the pipeline in the three way, like a manual trigger. Then we can enable the auto trigger. So if there was any changes in the repository, it will automatically trigger your pipeline. Then we have seen like a we can schedule a pipeline. Okay. So these are the three things we have discussed. Now we came to like a infra as a code. In infra as a code, we have discussed like a Terraform. So we have seen like a Terraform module, backend file, how or what is the use of TFS state file, how we can initialize the Cloud Shell, how we can write a Terraform code, right? So we have created a different type of resources using a Terraform. Like we have created resource group, we have created VNet, we have created subnet. So we have seen that Terraform will be able to not only create, it will be able to integrate and provisions like a complete infrastructure provisioning, right? We have seen all these things, right? And in we have seen like a Terraform important command, like a Terraform init, Terraform build, Terraform deploy, Terraform destroy, right? So we have seen all these things. Apart from these, we have seen like a software development method. We have seen the agile concept. We have seen the concept of agile, like the team structure, how the agile works and all. And we have seen like a agile with the DevOps. We have seen the DevOps advantages also. What are the advantage of the DevOps? We have seen the various automations tool and scripting languages. Now the major spending part is we have covered like still CI and CD. CI is nothing but you have also seen how we can create a plugins. Okay, and if we'll talk about Azure pipeline, we have discussed about like a library. In library, you can create a variable group. Then we have discussed about mm, tax group, how we can create your, how we can customize your own packages, right? You can build your own plugins, right? You can convert your tags into task group that will be available like a predefined plugins. Okay, we have seen how we can call different plugins in our pipeline. We have seen like a Terraform plugin you have called like you've seen the Maven plugin and all. Then you have seen if you want to run your Python code, how we can integrate your Python. So suppose if there will be any testing script written in Python, how we can integrate that with your pipeline. So I've seen all these things, right? Now coming to the major left part is Docker, because now we have only seen like a .zip deployment. We have not you have seen like how to create the CDS stage, but we have not seen how we can build the applications like a Docker image of your application and all. So for that, what we'll do, we'll create a Linux VM. Okay, we need a Azure portal. We'll create a Linux VM. We'll install Docker on top of that. We'll create a sample image. I'll give you the Docker file. So study all this thing. Okay, whatever I'm telling you, if you'll get a time, just study all this thing. Okay, I'll write it here. Also, the major pending is Docker. Okay, in Docker we'll see create a Linux VM, create a Linux VM, and install Docker on that. Okay, and third thing what we have to do is we have to create a Docker file. Create a Docker file. Create simple Docker file. Okay, again you have to create Docker file. 4 will be build Docker image. Okay, so okay, now we have built the Docker image. Fifth thing what we'll do, so we have to save the Docker image, right? Somewhere like how we have repository to save the code and all. So to save a Docker image, what we have ACR, Azure Container Registry. So you have to create ACR, create ACR, sorry, create ACR. Okay, 6, tag Docker image to this ACR, tag Docker image to ACR. Okay, and 7, this Docker image into, yeah, yeah, yes, I can hear. I am putting that into the chat. What you have to do. 7. 8 will be like a publish your application, so that it will be handy with your topic. Once you'll get a time, you can study publish your applications using Docker image. Okay, this is the Docker is pending. Then I'll talk about the Kubernetes. So in that we'll talk about like a creation of AKS, and then we'll talk about AKS command, Kubernetes commands, and then we'll deploy code on AKS. Okay, these three related to Kubernetes we'll talk. And then we have a cloud. Okay, a cloud. So in this we'll discuss about Azure cloud. Okay, like we'll talk about uh, all the basic like popular services. Okay, type of cloud. We'll see type of cloud, how it work, networking, cloud networking. Okay, permission and role we'll talk about, and then we'll talk about AAD. We'll talk about API and API gateway, and then we'll talk about what were the important things. The permissions we have talked about. Popular services will cover, type of cloud will cover. um, how the cloud works. We'll talk about the subscription concept. concept. This thing will talk in cloud, and then that will be the part of your operate, and then we'll talk about monitoring. This will talk about Azure Analytics Services, Azure uh, Log Analytics. We'll talk about metrics. We'll talk about logs, okay, and we'll talk about Azure Monitor. Okay, we'll also talk about App Insight. So this is the major topic which is left out till now. Okay, so we have covered till plan. So DevOps lifecycle, we have a plan that is completed, done. Then we have a code that is also done, right? Then we have a build that is also done. Then we have a test. We have seen the test that is also done. Okay, and then IAC that is also done, and then CI/CD that is also done. Okay, so just we'll discuss this topic. So I feel there is no point of discussing now, right? Because we don't have the Azure portal and all. So just get the Azure portal created, okay? And then we'll discuss. We'll resume the classes once you are ready.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
Okay. I wish you